Om Shanti. Good evening, Brother Brij Mohan.
Om Shanti, sister.
How
Om
are you?
Shanti, everyone.
Are you good?
Yes.
Okay. And hello to the family online. It's lovely to be with you again. And, I think everyone's hearts are in Madhuban for the last week because the lovely soul that we knew as Brother Naver departed. And of course, this makes us all very thoughtful. So several have asked Brother Brij Mohan if you'll share a little bit about this. And I wondered if you would share your own experiences with Nirvairbhai, but also when I was meditating before we started, it used to be, it was Brother Jagdish, Brother Ramesh, Brother Naver, and Brother Brij Mohan, right? You would go meet Baba together, etc. He would tell you to please keep meeting and all of that, create real spiritual friendship. So now you are holding the mantle of the senior brothers. You are the support for the family from the perspective of the senior brothers. So I wondered if you would just reflect with us a little bit about that and how that feels to you, and also your own relationship with Nirvairbhai. And then I have a second question for you after that.
Okay. Nirvairbhai was the main pillar at Madhuban. We four brothers were there, but we had different assignments. And one of the most important assignment as a senior brother was at headquarters. Because in Madhuban, the holy pilgrimage of the world, all people will come from all sides all the time. And to be there itself was very important. So, in a sense, he sacrificed or gave up all other assignments all over India and overseas, howsoever important those would be, during his so many last years, that he won't leave Madhuban. And that was the thing, just as Bapdada has to be present in Madhuban. Although Bapdada is available everywhere, but anybody comes to Madhuban will feel Bapdada's presence because Bapdada has been present there throughout. Similarly, in physical form, our dadis and outer brothers, our Nirvairbhai was present. Number two, one thing is spiritual sustenance and spiritual empowerment. But apart from that, because we are in living bodies and all of us are in our last birth, and we have lot of karmic account and lot of sanskars and other things, every to be settled and burnt, and then new sanskars are to be inculcated. So many Baba's children have so many issues. You see, health-related issues and their previous track record and so many issues. So salvations, having a proper place in the yajna, whether to be served or as a server, it was a big thing because it was changing scenario also. So he kept them all contented and satisfied. Such a large family of souls coming from different parts and keep them completely contented as Baba used to. Bapdada also, even the women who came for some jobs in Madhuban, because Baba said the locals should also get some employment and betterment, though they were weeping whenever even Baba left Madhuban. Similarly, was the situation with Nirvair Bhai. He saw to all aspects of everything. So that way, and that was his role. But then, all said and done, Baba says that we have to see our whole yajna, who is the main sustainer of yajna, and changing roles, because we are learning here to be what we have to be in the golden age. So you have to pass through difficult tests to be able to be free of all difficulties. So he was also preparing for the qualifying for the next world, because that is also number wise, from golden age onwards, you have to have your position there. So that also he was looking. And when Bapdada sent message about him, uh, the trans messenger said Bapdada was most satisfied with him. He was with Bapdada, and Bapdada said that all the certificates he has got, Bapdada will keep him for so many days with Bapdada to give him a feeling of satisfaction, elation, and Bapdada sustenance. Now also, every day, Bhog is offered from his place, Mahadani cottage, and one or the other trans messenger offer the book, and they narrate everyday situation, how Bab Dada is loving him, how he is doing Mansa Seva also. And Baba said that from time to time, Baba will be sending that soul to other area lands and also to Madhuban to see how his pending projects are going ahead. All that is a very joyful story also, and it gives us reflection about ourselves. So far as myself is concerned, I have always from the very beginning felt that drama is drama, and we have to see every scene as a viewer and not get involved that I am a role maker in this and Baba is above us. So every changing scene, big or small, we have to take in our stride.
Did you consider Nirvairbhai to be a spiritual friend?
A spiritual friend.
Friend.
Well, we are all, when Bapdada says, I also play my role as your spiritual friend. So therefore, all of us, friend means more than one. And we are, in plural, the whole Brahman family are friends. And sometimes you confide more to the friend than even to your brother. So friend's role is unique. A friend will in the times of your need or your trying circumstances, friend will come to your help. They say a friend in need is a friend indeed. So all of us, are spiritual friends. Even Judy Behan and myself are spiritual friends. So that way, Nirvair Bhai was also a spiritual friend. And we have, because of the meetings, etc., we were close friends.
Okay.
In one of the sites that one trans messenger brought, I had asked something from Bab Dada. So the trans messenger showed that Nirvair Bhai also emerged. Then Bab Dada took both of us on his side, left and right. So there you can see the friends. Okay.
That's lovely. So one more question about this. How is Madhaban reconfiguring to move forward without the presence of Brother Nevers? So the things he did, the role he played, all of that. How is Madhaban moving forward in that regard?
It is like a story unfolding, a real story. So Madhuban goes on because Madhuban has so much of activity and so much of roles and responsibilities that although this event has happened, it's a historic event, but because of all the goings on, because when you see new souls coming, there are programs being held. Today they have a All India Media Conference. The Minister of information and broadcasting has come. 4 programs are going on simultaneously. So Baba says, when you are busy, that mitigates or reduces any such big change. So they are all usually usual. And then because every day bhog is offered for him and some sandesh is brought, that also consoles them. This system of having different ceremonies also is a very good method that, your loss gets mitigated and you are able to absorb it. So in Bharat, there is a custom of celebrating fourth day and up to the 13th day. So this is going on. So they all have memories, sweet memories and lessons, and as well as they are taking over the responsibilities.
And when we come to Madhuban, if we come to the cottage, that Mahadani cottage, what will
Yes.
there? What will be there?
The cottage has been kept open and it will remain open. And if I may go back, there were by a small office in Panda Bhavan. He had from the beginning said it should never be closed, it should never be locked. Even today, if you go to Madhuban, people sit there, hold meetings, the same tables, the same people, they are not there, but it is there. Similarly, this Bhai's cottage, it has been turned into a absolutely running situation. And Dr. Pratap of the hospital, because Narwar Bhai's last big project was a 16 specialty big hospital. He has been given charge that he will be coming there, holding meetings, and then finally, when the hospital starts coming up, he will stay there also. So that is one thing. Shashi Ben was allotted an office by Nirvair Bhai, which she never used, but now she says she will be using it, and all his assistants, including the old lady who cooks food, they will all be there, and everything will be. If you go there, but for physical presence of Nirvair Bhai, you will feel everything as it is exact, and you will get powerful vibration.
That's beautiful. That's very beautiful. Thank you. And comforting. No, it's comforting for us.
Yes.
All right. Brother Brij Mohan, we have 10 pages of questions. We will not get to them all. What I'm going to do, I'm going to move through them, trying to think which ones affect most people. So we have, just to review, we have personal dharna questions, we have Gyani questions, we have mental health questions again, we have niyams and Maryada questions, we have interpersonal situations from the instruments, from the BKs who are not instruments. We have body and soul, and then we're back to the organ donation. We got a lot of questions. So I want to come back to that and ask you to respond to that, and then some aspirational questions. We will not get to everything. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to touch what I can. I have pulled some things from those who sent things in the question and answer last time, and we'll do the same this time. So if you want to submit questions, we may not get to them today, but we will try to get to them in the next time we speak. So I'm going to start with personal dharna, and I'm going to start with mansa seva. So we have a question: how do we do service through the mind to specific VIP contact souls who need to be kept close through special means?
Well, we have to understand the depth of service through the mind and how it has to be made effective in certain situations. First thing Bapdada says is you can do service through the mind only after you for your own effort you are fully satisfied and free from mental service of yourself. It means to say you have surplus. But still, Bapdada says, if you have an intention to do service through the mind, because that service can only be done by connecting with Bapdada, getting powers from Bapdada, getting different rays of different qualities and powers from Bapdada. The first ingredient of service through mind is I have to connect myself with Bapdada, the source and the ocean of everything. And by connecting with Bapdada, I become only an instrument and a transmitter of powers. Otherwise, I have very limited powers and I am not that directly so directed that with my own powers, my mind will be focused. So therefore, we have to do this thing. Secondly, Baba says, service through the mind is meant for universal application. It, you know, main purpose of service to the mind is to serve all the human souls who are not directly communicable with you. That is service the whole humanity. What for? So that their grief is elevated, so that their desires are reduced, so that they get sort of a mind empowerment. So this is a very subtle process, as if the powerhouse is being sending the power to the souls universally through a transmitter. So that is the position. And it includes not only because the golden age is being created, paradise is being created, not only human souls, even all other living beings, vegetation, elements, everything. That is the overall view. Now, when it comes to doing mind service to certain people, specific people like the VIPs. So Baba always said that if you have to make an international call, you cannot use the local or the national code. So as soon as they think of a particular VIP, it becomes limited. So therefore, best thing is to do universal service and include that also into the process, not specifically serving a particular soul, because then the communication cannot be there by an international call to a local or a national connection. Number two, Baba sometimes said that for Brahmins, if for their own certain situations, like your knee is not working or something, you can do that mental service also to that particular portion of your body, but that will be one of the so many ingredients of cure, not it will be directly effective, because mental service is meant for universal use. So a small portion of that will be there. So best thing is that we have good wishes and good thoughts for everyone, including that VIP. Just as in a gathering, your own sister is sitting, you say, you address the whole crowd and not your sister specifically.
Okay. Brother Brij Mohan, please explain the difference between Sato and Sato Pradhan. Are the codes of conduct for these two different? My aim is to become Sato Pradhan, not Sato. So what should I follow and focus on with the remaining short time? I don't have much time, and I also have part-time lokic job to earn money for the body and family.
Well, the total stage is divided into 4 parts. One is Sato Pradhan, super excellent. Then is Sato excellent. And after half the period, half the cycle is over, then that Sato Pradhan and Sato disappear. So different situations come, and then we start with Rajo, and then we go to the Tamo, and finally Tamo Pradhan. In other words, to simplify, any situation can be divided into four equal parts. First is the super excellent, then some sort of defect starts coming, and in the end, it is totally defective. So now, to have Sato Pradhan stage, Baba said, Sato Pradhan stage is there right up to the end. Even a Kaljugi soul knew who descend afresh from golden age, from the Paramdham, its first stage is Satopradhan. It may not last for long. If you have just one day as life on this earth of a soul, then the beginning, the morning will be Satopradhan, and later on it will become Sato. In the end, it will become Tamopradhan quickly. That is to say. So, but to attain Satopradhan stage means it doesn't matter whether you are doing a job or anything. It means 100%
And so
connection.
is my effort the same? I make the same kind of effort to become Sato Pradhana Sato?
No, no, no. You see, it is like removing the impurities. So Baba says first Tamo Pradhan impurities are removed, then Rajo impurities are removed, then you reach Silver Age, and then even then certain impurities, very subtle. Don't call it impurities, but lack of purities and virtues. You have to fulfill that. Then you reach Satopradhan. So Satopradhan actually means a soul. First of all, I should see my entitlement. A soul who has to come in Satopradhan, that is to say 111, means that is an hero actor and who has played in the previous cycle also a role from 111 of total dedication. Most probably, you see, now the souls who are coming now, they can go last too fast. They can perhaps reach the golden age as a subject, but to have the kingship or high role in Satopradhan will not be possible. And that is why Baba says now we should work for at least a birth in the golden age in whatever situation. And then if I say I am doing a job to feed my body, well, in this so many miles come. First I am doing a job, then to feed my body. So when it is a Satopradhan, the body is not yours. Therefore, and you are not doing anything. Baba will get it done. So if you have that attitude, that it is Baba who has given me this body, Baba, I am in this place, Baba will bring me up, then only it is there. So you can't say, you can't differentiate between your body's sustenance from your total sustenance. So that outlook has also to be changed.
Okay. Okay. We have a Gyani question here that came in very late. You have not seen it. It says, aside from our faith in the teaching, please shed more light on how the transition of destruction and establishment actually take place on earth at the same time. I understand that we are establishing with the soul a new world and destroying the vices in the soul at the same time. How does this happen in the material world of chaos to have a pure golden age at the same time on planet Earth? Now, this question could take the rest of the time, so I want you to just be essenceful.
Well, the answer is even in today's Murli. Baba says destruction and establishment go together. So you have to be making efforts for the golden age. That is to say, getting qualification. Simultaneously, automatically, when you get new, you shed the old. So in the macro sense also, it is happening, because the new world is coming. So you find souls preparing for destruction of the old world. It is very much visible, and Baba has specifically said that until and unless the complete new establishment is there, destruction will not take place. Baba even said there will be rehearsals and trials, but then those will stop, because here also, for preparing for the golden age, there are trials and so many obstacles. But finally, when you are complete, all the souls are complete in their own respective way, then destruction will take place. So we have to not talk of destruction and establishment, and after that, destruction.
Okay. I never know if the souls who sent the questions feel complete, but I feel complete with that. Okay. Healing. Where this comes up every time. How to heal, number one, past hurt that gets triggered over and over again. And number two, deep-seated fears that feel like they could be from past births. And how do we achieve a state strong enough to burn our memories?
These three things are interlinked. To have a strong enough state to burn our memories means I do not have that. And for that reason, the old wounds keep on appearing again and again. Now, till that happens, we have to have the Gyan points like drama. Anything comes which is adverse to my situation, why it has come to me, so it is my old sanskaras yet remaining to be burned. So I have to rely on drama and treat it not as an obstacle, but as a good thing, because Baba is getting my sins finished by installments, in easy installments. Supposing sometimes you are okay, but suddenly you start feeling sorrow or depression. What is the reason for that? Because some other old sanskar is emerging inside. The Gyan is fighting with that. So at that point of time, if I understand that it is my own leftover of the past sins, I will take it in my stride and not be disturbed. And similarly, fears about future, those also arise because, if somebody has a lot of unsettled accounts, then and is getting more and more obstacles, then one will fear that perhaps this obstacle I am not able to either overcome by Gyan or burn by yoga, so they will keep on coming. All these things are interlinked. So the last part of the question asked, it should bring it first, that I should do intense meditation, be completely attentive and careful all the time, and only have Baba's power, then we can overcome all these things. Main thing is, no soul can get better by its own power. It can have an understanding, but ultimately it is Baba's power. When we get that, helps us to burn our sins and get good qualities.
Okay, so the next series of questions, I'm going to ask a whole bunch at once, and they also suggest that Brahmin souls are having trouble remaining stable in Baba's remembrance. So I'm going to give them all to you. I've got them under the headline Fluctuation. So how can I maintain the stable Purushart while living in a worldly life? It is up and down, so progress is slow. Number two, Baiji, could you suggest a few Purushart tips for maintaining constancy in feeling Baba while living in a very superfluous Laukic and Alaukic environment? Number three, I feel disheartened and disconnected from Baba, and it's a constant struggle and feels exhausting mentally to maintain connection because most of the time I have to either protect myself from a toxic environment or combat emotionally manipulative souls around me. Number 4, I want to feel Baba constantly, but I'm unable to. Number 5, what is the practical method to clean the intellect to have a strong connection with Baba? Okay, they're all the same question, basically. So if you could help those who are fluctuating, just as in the previous question, you said it's really got to be Baba's power. So, and let me just ask the translators, are we going too fast? Too slow? Are you okay? Is that okay? Translators? Yeah? Okay, Brother Brij Mohan.
Well, there can be no one method or cut and dry answer to these things. Basic thing is making effort, feeling difficulty, getting tired, etc., etc. It means we are going on a different track, thinking all those things are the worldly situation and applying worldly methods to overcome those. The first thing is we have spiritual birth. We are all spiritually reborn. So therefore, our methods have to be spiritual. And in spiritual methods, these all those things which means making labor or effort and feeling exhausted and dejected, speed is slow, etc. In spiritual methods, speed is has to be fastest. There is nothing like a slow speed. So therefore, basic thing is who is always stable and can help us to be stable. And that is one and one, our Supreme Father, our soul's Father. So therefore, how can soul, Supreme Father help us to be stable? Daily Murli, even at the questions I am listening to, answers are there in today's Murli itself, where Baba says destruction and establishment take place together. Why so? Everything. So our mind should be refreshed every day with Gyan, and it gives so many points of Gyan itself, so that you are free from labor in this effort. So therefore, the first thing is that everyone should listen to Baba's Murli, read Baba's Murli carefully, and it is my 80 years of experience that every day's Murli contains answers and remedies for everyone everywhere. Even if after this our talk, someone reads today's Murli very carefully, all the questions will be answered because it is the Almighty, it is the All Powerful who is helping us to become powerful. So if we miss that and start using our own physical, material, or even spiritual energy, it won't help because it is already depleted. Clean and clear, someone has said. So clean and clear means what? First of all, my thought is focused, completely focused. Secondly, it is determined and it is benevolent. I don't waver. My thought wave doesn't move, go zigzag. So all those things means only Baba, Baba, and only Baba. Now, Baba, connecting with Baba is one thing because that is a subtle process. But learning from Baba how to connect, how to be away from deviations, that is there in everyday's Murli. So one may read the Murli a few sentences, then meditate upon that, try to digest those points and live those points. After some time, read another para and then try to internalize that and live. That is also meditation. So slowly, then we should open a small savings account, in the sense we should not take our day ordinarily. Baba has given us traffic control and otherwise also said that whenever you have free moments, get into yoga with me. So this practice over the period will help the situation. Always remember that this is a path of love. It is not a path of labor. And in love, even in the worldly love, you see, if you love something very deeply, you don't see the world around what is happening there. So therefore, we call Baba dearest, Almighty Father, always ready to help us. And through Murlis every day, Baba is sending us the method. And this Murli has such power, it is universal. On any day, all over the world, there is no teacher who will give you a single lesson, and that will apply to all. So we should understand the importance of the Baba's words, because each word will solve our difficulties and smoothen our way.
So you've been reading the Murli and hearing the Murli for 80 years.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you
And
should.
I underline first I read the Murli, underline the new points in the sense that those look new to me, and then I internalize those. During the day also I listen to them and I try to apply that.
Okay.
We are students, it's a lifelong study.
So I want to ask you some questions about the Murli. Many students got used to the Murli online during the pandemic and continue to listen to Murli online even when they can come to the center. There are many centers sitting empty and some are being closed with only a few students. The amount of contribution is not enough to sustain the cost of the center. What is your recommendation in this case? Should the center be the main place to read and listen to the Murli? And should online Murli only be for those who cannot attend in person? Is it true that according to the Yagya, a center is a place where Murli is read every day and Bhog is offered every day? How do you see the role of the center nowadays and in the future? So two-part question, right? The Murli and the center. And then I've got two more Murli questions, but let's just do that one first.
Okay. You see, one thing is convenience and comfort, and other thing is seriousness and having an objective. Supposing a doctor learns online how to perform operations, or a car driver learns online how to run a car, and after that they do it practically, what will be the result? This is a small example, but here getting Baba's Gyan, in which is involved our total whole track of the world cycle, and particularly at the present moment when it has become the most difficult situation. And Baba says, I take you to the most favorable situation. If I take it layerly and I am listening to Murli, and not in a proper way, even for something, certain things, you have to have a posture, because when the army says stand alert, so all are alert physically, but here how alert we are mentally, that online Murli is going on, you are in a comfortable situation, Murli is passing through your ears, but how much of it is going inside? And secondly, this Murli reading is not only isolated. We have, all of us are godly students. We have to study together, and in the golden age, we have to live together. If you only by just shadows, you are able to see people, so then you are only shadow acting. You cannot be there in the golden age personally interacting with each other. And so, therefore, you lose in the worldly sense also, the correspondence course people and the others, they are not that efficient and they are not that absorbed into their study as those who are directly doing. So, therefore, the question is now of contribution to the center, etc. I may think that I will save my petrol of the car as well as my contribution to the center if I listen to Murli online. Okay. But where that money goes, the money which I would have otherwise spent for God's work and God's cause, mean to say, part of my money would naturally have gone for God's work, even my time also. And if I am not doing that, it is going to in some other way. So therefore, I am making double loss. First of all, I am losing all that to the Kaljugi world. I may be buying a more expensive thing or something. The way to even put our money into godly work is this, that we contribute to the center, we go to the center. Sometimes people ask me, my house is far away from the center, and those who are close by to the center or live in the center, they are better placed. I say no, because if a person's house is far away from center, that person will awaken early and take more time to reach to the center. All the time his mind will be uh, in the center. So that is also called yoga. It is not something you eat, it is what you relish. So therefore, they are not able to relish anything. So there are a lot of points which mean to say, I am an outsider trying to take benefit of Gyan, or I am an insider not only benefiting but passing on this benefit and enabling God's center to be run. In Bhakti, we used to go to church, etc. What for? Isn't it? Because it was casual, it was yearly, it was once a week or so. But here it is not, the benefit was also very little. Here Baba says, day and night, your mind, body, soul, everything, your money and your all situations, even your context, has to be used for God's work. Then God will reward us, because it is not a certificate of a BK studying with the Murli, but the reward is very great and very real, and only you can get it now like a lottery. So one should understand thoroughly and then appreciate. Baba says even a word of Murli is worth diamonds. Because
Right.
how many diamonds do you require for 21 new coming generations?
Okay, let me ask you something else. What if someone did come to class, they're sitting in class, but they have their phone opened and they're reading the Murli on their phone while they listen to the Murli Dar? Is that okay?
Baba says, Manmat. Some people think they can do better than what Shrimat is. So they are feeling they are very much in the class, but to focus on the Murli words, they have before them the text also. But definitely looking at the text is a diversion. Murli is like a flute, a song which has to be listened, and it is not like a poem to be read. Therefore, they lose a lot because their focus is more on the words than on the content. So, if you don't have that device, you will be fully attentive to the words, to the rhythm of the words, to the what the teacher or Murli reader is trying to say, laying stress on certain things, and then creating a vibration that you are not a correspondence course student, you are a real student who is listening, hearing, as all.
Okay,
I will advise that. Huh?
okay. All right. This is a tricky one. Since the pandemic, many international projects have emerged that require some of us instruments to meet at the time of Amrit Vela or Murli class in our local regions to accommodate those from another time zone. So for example, if the meeting is at 6 a.m. for New York, for those people in Western Canada, it's 4 a.m. So if we are able to adjust our own schedule, so we have Amrit Vela and Murli before such meetings, what do you feel Bapdada's advice would be? Are we becoming careless regarding the importance of the ideal conditions for Amrit Vela and Murli class?
Well, it depends upon the importance of the two events. If we are going to have, because all those such meetings, etc., are not daily, they are periodical. So when we have certain things, because we are on earth and we are Baba's physical instrument. So in the physical world, you have to have certain physical situation. So timings are different in different countries. And somewhere it may be midnight also for Amrit Vela, for instance. Now the question is, normally you will be doing Amrit Vela as per your own country's timing, which is the morning hours. But when you are having a common thing, say Bapdada's talk, and then you have to have that at even 12 midnight. Now it is not there because now that period is over. So the question is also now only historical. But then it means about the importance. Supposing some very important thing happens at midnight, and you are not used to wake up at midnight, will you not rise? Somebody says at midnight, your house is on fire, or there is a bomb placed in the basement. Then will you think it is midnight and we are being disturbed? No, because it is the urgency of the matter. Sometimes you have to catch flights at midnight. So the question is, I have to see the importance. If there is some international meeting on Zoom or something, and the timings are odd, one time I should do, and Baba has given you leave, because even during Baba's time, when Baba was personally reading Murli, at that time also there were certain jobs which had to be done at that time only. And one of the brothers who were doing that, I asked him in Madhuban. I used to come to Madhuban. I said, you are, Baba is directly reading Murli. We are coming from far off places and you are missing. He told me, Baba has given me this job, say for example, security job, and I have to be there outside the campus, and Baba compensates me. And the classic example is Guldar Dadi. The classic example is Gulzar Dadi. Gulzar Dadi, when Baba used to come in Gulzar Dadi, all are listening to awake Baba Dada's Murli, excepting Gulzar Dadi. So what she will do? She will say, Baba, I will not allow my body to be used because I am missing your Murli. No. After that, she will read that Murli. So therefore, Baba said, adjust according to the situation, you will miss nothing. For these days also, for example, you are not able to listen to something live. There is a facility to store it. So like that it is there. So we have to adjust, but not make this as an excuse for doing something which suits my mind.
Okay, thank you for that. That's good. Especially the Daddy Gulzar example. All right, we got many, many, many letters with a very similar complaint about interpersonal situations. We got them from the instrument side, we got them from the student side. I'm going to read the instruments all at once because they're very similar, and then ask you to respond. So, first one, a BK with Baba for 20 years shows a lot of dedication and potential, and the NC team would like to give more responsibilities to this soul. This soul also asks for more responsibilities. However, The experience is that this BK does not know how to work well with others and doesn't seem able to learn it. Lots of stubbornness, resistance to the ideas of others, bossiness, controlling behaviors. No one has ever been able to say anything without that soul feeling insulted. Number two, or related to that, should the NC team continue to offer this soul a place in the different service initiatives, meaning teams? Should they continue to give this soul a chance? Okay, then we have another one. This is the situation that happened in the center. A group of old students is not happy with the center and center residents. They got together and criticized, but never came to speak directly. In front of me, that is the center coordinator, they behave very sweetly and nicely. At the same time, they are backbiting. As they are senior ones, they have influenced new students too. So the center coordinator is asking, as an instrument, how to deal with my feelings as I felt that I tried my best to do things for the center, but don't know what I did wrong. Number two, according to Baba Shrimat, what are the ways to deal with these situations? Should I practice tolerance and patience, or ask them to move to other centers? All right, next question. In certain situations at the center, disagreements can happen among coordinators and residents. When those moments happen, voices are raised and others living in the centers witness the fighting. What advice would you give to the residents who find themselves in this type of situation? Next one. How to help those who continuously become caught in fighting and quarreling. If there is a soul who is living at the center and who is not doing well mentally or emotionally, if the soul is not open to listening or taking help from seniors, what steps can the coordinator take in order to keep the atmosphere elevated? Now, I have three more. Om Shanti, one sister in the center is really in a difficult karmic situation. She's coming to the center, doing karma yoga, etc., but she is very unhappy most of the time, not talking to others. And even if she does, she easily becomes aggressive. Although I'm sending good wishes, what else can be done? Next to the last one, why can't we get along? This is from a national coordinator. I see old BKs, 40, 50 years in Guyana, being rude to one another, fighting and quarreling. What's wrong with us? Is Raj Yoga not working? When are we going to become more divine? What kind of good wishes can we have when we witness things like this? Can I fix it? Just stay detached? And then we have one more, and I'm assuming the name has been changed. Sister Jonah feels she's being treated unjustly by another BK. It seems there's some karmic account between the two of them. However, it's another BK who is close to her who is taking up her defense, confronting the offending BK, getting involved in their story, fighting her battles. If she's given herself the role of lawyer responsible for creating justice, it's a repeating behavior seen with other souls besides this one. Okay, Brother Bridgewater, in the words of that national coordinator, what's wrong? Is Raj Yoga not working?
Yes. Well, these all situations are real, and one has to broadly understand why such things are happening. Because if you take it from a worldly sense, then we will get a different reply and a different aspect. But if you get it from a Gyan sense, then in one word, everything is right in the drama, In a drama, there are tragedies, there are scenes, there are offenders, and there are defenders, everything, but it is a part of the drama. Therefore, one word is that we have to understand the drama. Basically, number one, all the souls of Brahmins, whosoever Baba makes a Brahmin, adopts it as a spiritual child. You should see what type of souls they are. In one word, they are all souls who have taken so many births and are in their last birth, including the coordinator or the teacher or whosoever it is. Number one. Number two, they have to settle their accounts, they have to show themselves up. Their weaknesses will come up and those will be visible also. But when we know that we are all old souls, the question will arise why some are behaving better than others, some are seem to be incorrigible, etc. Now Baba says all old souls, but preparing for the next world, which is not one birth of the golden age kings and subjects, but which is for half the cycle, two yugas, golden and silver age, and all type of status. You know, you are not going to have the great servers there or other doing other jobs there, those caring for the graveyard, all are being prepared here. So it's such a thing and such a what is called battlefield or Kurukshetra where you are placed. Now we have to see that these will naturally come. And I have to get my marks out of this. And you know, if a person can solve a difficult question and he gets good marks, that is called pass with honor. So seeing all these things, first thing is I should not be disturbed. It is a drama. Number two, I cannot take responsibility, nor I can do anything to set everything right, because the wrong will reach its extreme and manifest itself in the ultimate till everything subsides. So we are fighting a subtle war where our minds and intellects are facing all those situations. And still, the commander-in-chief or the winning warrior is the one who can overcome all these situations by a different type of solution. Just as you fly in the air when you find lot of traffic on the road, and their road problems of traffic jams are not there, or you send a rocket, then even other problems are not there. We have to put myself in a position that I see all this situation. I keep on helping all this situation, just as Red Cross is there. Red Cross people, whosoever becomes injured, they take care. They are not bothered whether it is this side or that side. Their job is only to take care. Similarly, hospitals and all those. A fire brigade is only meant to extinguish fire. It doesn't bother who created the fire and why it was done and so on and so forth. So basically, we have to take the scenario where we are placed and what we are going to get out of all this victory over all those things. So the victory is over our ego, over our anger, over our impatience, over our attachments. And you will find, for instance, somebody advocating someone's cause and fighting their war. Now, what is this? It is attachment. How many people in the world are grieved, and how many people in the world that soul who is trying to defend someone will be able to defend in this world? So if I can only do some unlimited defense, then I am a good lawyer, and not because of some reason, maybe sympathy, maybe whatever, I start fighting the cause of another. The other one maybe having some big karmic account, which I cannot solve by advocacy. I get myself involved into mud and I cannot come out of it, nor I can give any benefit. So all these situations, first of all, I am an instrument. An instrument can be a good instrument. An instrument can be a not so good instrument. So if I see an instrument, we are mentioning some people 40 years, 50 years in Gyan, they are doing all this. So Baba says, it is not the time factor here. It is the question how much you have come up with that. If a patient is 10 years in a hospital, it doesn't mean that he got better treatment or he responded to the treatment. It means he is not responding to the treatment. Whatever is happening there, that person is there physically, but he is not getting the benefit out of that. So if we see that it is a drama, and we are at that part of the drama, which is the tragic side of it, where everything is topsy-turvy. There is no perfection at all. And God is helping us to have perfection, but not to apply here. As soon as we become perfect, we leave this old world, we leave this old body, leave all this old situation. Baba has said clearly. So long as we are in the body, some sort of imperfection, tuning, even polishing is it. So I should admit my imperfection. Maybe I have become perfect to some percentage. Maybe I have reached the copper age or the silver age or the end of the golden age. So I have to go on improving myself. The soul, these are physical situations. The soul is a soul. Soul only gets sanskar out of it, that is whatever is happening, what I imbibe. A weak soul will be affected and will get impurities also inside along with Gyan. So those impurities will disturb because there will be questions and questions and questions, just as now so many questions have been asked. So I should be able to, with Srimat, I should be able to resolve all the questions. If you look at from Baba's Srimat point of view, what Baba says. Baba says, whatever has happened is good. Whatever is happening is good. And whatever will happen will be better. Now, on what basis Baba says? A person has broken his leg under a bus and the leg is being amputated, and Baba is saying, whatever has happened is good and whatever will happen will be better. But if you go into the depth of the situation, then what will happen? In the depth of the situation, supposing only leg has been amputated, the person is still alive. But supposing the person had died, then what? And supposing the person was in the hospital for 21 days and then died. So maybe compared to that, sometime instant death is better than suffering in the hospital. Sometimes losing of one limb is better than losing your life. So, but on what basis Baba says this is that as per drama, we are in the confluence age and all the bad times have passed and now we are on the rising curve. That is to say, the morning, the day is dawning. So when the day dawns, it dawns for all. It dawns for everyone, for the parrots and the trees also. So therefore, on that basis, that time is helping us. So this is the end of the tragic part. That also, so you will see climax of the tragic scenes at the end. So many factors you combine. And lastly, we should say this has happened. This is not happening once. It has happened innumerable times. And I have come out of it somehow every time. And now also presently it is happening, but definitely this will also come to pass. So I am a soul. This is only watching a drama and also playing a role in the drama. So, but I am different being. My soul is not being affected by any quarrels or anything and any situation. So Baba says, remember so many things together, and you will find it a sort of a drama to enjoy. Even the tragic scenes, you will see the bright side of it.
Okay. Those of you who sent in questions, and I'm going to not ask the other side because the answer would be very similar. In other words, it's the drama. We have to understand that everything has benefits we can't see, and that we have to invoke our better and better self to have charitable vision and merciful vision for all of this. And you
So,
may have listened to Brother Brij Mohan again. Brother Brij Mohan, I've got two more questions to ask you.
yeah, the key slogan is right is right, wrong is also right.
You're kind of famous for that slogan. Right is right, wrong is also right. Okay, I want to come back to the organ donation question because we had lots of questions about this. Many disagree with you on this. Many agree, but many disagree. So I want to give you a chance to respond. Okay, one person said, Babas Murlis have said that our bodies are of no use, that at least animals, their skin is useful. He also mentioned how Parsis leave the dead bodies for the birds, so at least the body is useful. When Baba shares like this, it makes me feel good that at least this body can be useful for someone else when I leave it. Hence, I will stick to being an organ donor. Next comment, I'm going to do them all at once. We had a doctor respond and say, what about morphine? There are times when someone is dying, they're close to being finished. They're in a lot of pain and they're uncomfortable. And yet I know giving that pain medication would reduce their suffering, but it would also accelerate their death. Is that okay? And then there's a third one. Why can't I think that my body might influence the person and bring them to BK? So maybe my liver or kidney that I donated made that other person a BK. Then someone said, what if a BK needs an organ transplant? And someone else said, is it okay to donate if we specify whether the beneficiary is vegetarian or for another BK in another part of the world? Then we have two more. One is what to do if a relative is being sustained only by machines in a hospital and there are no possibilities for recovery. Should the family decide that machines be turned off and let the soul continue its journey? And then one that I actually don't understand, not sure that he touched on a BK accepting someone else's organ. Wonder how then, on the basis of Baiji's argument, these fit in. I'm alive and my blood is circulating in somebody else's body. I kind of understand it. So there you go. Lots of pushback. Do you want to comment on that?
Yes. Basically, Baba says that body becomes useless when the soul leaves it. Still, we have to see how it is disposed of. I have witnessed, I was at a railway station in Lucknow. Somebody died in the train, first class compartment. His body was being dragged by the porters on the platform. And I was feeling that, look, this person has no one here, his own to care, and his body is being dragged. I didn't like it. Supposing a king dies and king's dead body is there, and they just throw it on the street, and dogs are biting into it, how would you feel it? So, therefore, a proper disposal of waste also. Even in these days, they have got 4 bins for waste disposal. Therefore, whose waste it is? and how it should be treated, that has to be seen. Number one. Number two, the thing is, there are answers to it. Body, first of all, would you like to, while you are alive, would you like to donate something to anyone or everyone, or supposing you have to donate your money, you have to donate your time, or you have to donate your food while you are alive? Will you like to donate your food to a very hungry person who is trying to press the button of nuclear weapon, or anybody who is going to rob someone? So therefore, while alive also, we are very selective that my resources are given to the one who is benevolent. Number two, my resources. So therefore, I have to see what is the worth of my eyes, what is the worth of my resources. So therefore, in difficult situations, a BK sometimes get transfusion of blood from the blood bank. But what for? Because it may be anybody's blood, but it is going into a BK who will be using it for the good of the world. And it is supposing it is the other way around then. So therefore, a BK getting anything from outside under compulsion will be welcome. But a BK giving out anything outside which will not do even lifetime and which will be misused, supposing a BK donates eyes to someone who is a criminal. Now, eyes are making a person alive, but to what effect? So basic thing is the intention. Even taking shower has intention. Taking shower is a good thing, but if a person is taking shower to throw a bomb or to rob a bank, then that shower also becomes sinful. So therefore, we have to see all these things, that there is no hard and fast rule, but to say that my body is useless, so like Parsis, I put it on a tower and the birds are biting into it. If the soul supposing returns and watches its body being treated like that, how would it feel? So it will be very painful. And in the other way, it is properly decorated, and she, friends and others are going for mourning, will feel satisfied. Therefore, you see, we have to see the benevolent usefulness of the organ and to where it should be properly placed. So otherwise, there is no hard and fast rule, but we will say that even a useless body should be properly disposed of, and it should not be used for wrongful donations or for or in a way which is not befitting or becoming.
Okay, thank you for that. So, Brother Brij Mohan, we just have 10 minutes, and I would like you to address an aspirational question. I think the one I would like you to address is, can you explain for us what is the complete and perfect stage and what efforts we need to make to attain this stage?
Well, perfect stage is, there is a common perfect stage for everyone, ideal, and there is an attainable perfect stage for everyone. Supposing there is a cauliflower, and a cauliflower seed can give only one cauliflower, and when you get a full good cauliflower, it will be a perfect stage for the cauliflower. But supposing it is peas, and you sow a pea seed, then it will not be one pea pod, but so many of them over the season, that will be a perfect stage for it. Supposing it does not give so many peas, and there is some defect in the root or something, then it is imperfect. Supposing it is an apple, even the peas have a season, only for season. Apple seed, you sow one seed and you get apples year after year after year after year. So therefore it depends that perfect stage for a subject, perfect stage for royal family, perfect stage for the king and queen, it is different. But each one have their own perfection. So what is the definition of perfect stage is that a stage in which I have finished all my past debit karmic accounts, burnt my sins, or through punishment, through whatever, but my sins are finished. Past, past debit account becomes zero. But not only that, that will entitle me only to Param Dham and silence. But plus, how much I am able to collect, how much I am able to collect of my debit account, collect for my future. That is to say, deposit of the treasures. We know all the treasures, the treasure of divine virtues. Now, Baba says divine virtues are also one is Sarv Gun Sampan, all virtues complete, and other is virtue sampan, some are not complete. Or maybe all are complete, but not to the complete extent. Just as you have got a 16-watt bulb and a 14-watt bulb. So it doesn't mean in the 14-watt bulb certain things are missing, but the total power is less. So we know the virtue, then we have got the subtle powers like tolerance, like patience, like sweetness. So all these things, to what extent? I may be sweet 75%, 90%, but still I may get inside irritated uh, to some extent. So that is imperfect state. No irritation at all. In other words, perfect state means that I, the soul, should be able to think good, see good, and do good. If there is, even in my thinking, everything is okay, but I am thinking this person is lacking in something, then in my thinking, some element of imperfection has gone, not due to me, but because of an attitude of seeing the defects of others. So that is what Baba says. Wisdom, which means only one sided thinking, good, good, good for myself, for others, even anything that is not good, by the process of Gyan, I know that what is going to come is the word, everything will be good. This is a passing fate. Supposing a prisoner in jail, only 7 days of prison left, but he starts feeling free because only 7 days are left. So, like that, a perfect state means I should be fully satisfied, contented with myself. And not only that, but others around me should also feel satisfied and contented with from my side, whatever I do. So there are so many definitions, but I think this is enough.
That was beautiful. Thank you for that. And thank you for enduring all of our questions. I did not get to all of them, of course. If you wrote your question in the question and answer, I'll be able to look at them. But if you wrote your question in the chat, it will disappear. I won't get to look at it. So our next meeting will be in November, I believe on the 8th, but we'll send you a notice. We will not have a session in October because I'll be with Brother Brij Mohan in person and we'll be friends in person. So at this time, what I would like to do is invite Brother Brij Mohan to share 3 minutes of drishti, after which we'll close. Brother Brij Mohan. Thank you, Brother Brij Mohan. Om Shanti, everyone.
Constant.
Thank you.